nothing.
He's gone.
Yeah.
And I hope he made it right. Matter of fact, I went to school with him.
Yes.
And we was working out in the fields cutting tobacco. He tried to cut everybody. And I took my time and stayed on his heels
Uh-huh.
all the way long. Now I had just as much tobacco cut as he did. I didn't work half as hard.
Well.
And he would jump from one stick to another to get ahead of somebody to beat you.
Huh.
But he didn't make it. About killed himself for working, trying to beat somebody.
Well. I downloaded a book from Amazon. It says it was titled "Favorite Songs in the Macedonia Old Regular Baptist Church." Of course, they use that as a name, and one of the few songs in there is "Won't It Be Wonderful There." Well,
yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that or not. So I could sit on the tab and we'd read it.
Yeah, I can read that.
All right. And
think about that. How many miles are you away from me?
That's something, isn't
it? Let's say we're like at least I'd say close 200 or more.
Well,
and I can tell somebody I can read something 200 miles away from me, and I can't.
I think we're almost 2 days drive away from each other or something. We're about 10 hours. I've checked on it before.
10 hours at the regular speed, that would be.
That'd be about 400 or 500 miles.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
But when I go anywhere, I don't leave. I don't leave so late. I have to fly before I get there.
Yeah.
I'd rather be early than try flying and run over somebody.
Yeah. See if you heard of this song. I don't know if you could read that or not.
Wings Made of Gold?
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard it.
That's something I
Children Don't Cry?
Yeah. Your children don't cry, but we'll meet on the other side. When our long earthly journey comes to a close, don't shed tears for me. How happy I will be across the river with my wings made of gold.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
I can play that right now.
Yeah.
I love the old song, Where the Roses Never Fade.
Yes. I think that's in this book too.
And I found some other people singing that song, Old Dead. And they play the old style banjo.
Here's one you'd probably like. It's a little bit different. Yeah.
On the hill.
It's a little bit different from what I've usually heard. It says it's my old Kentucky home instead of Clinch Mountain home, like Stanley Brothers version.
Yeah. And they sang a song about a log cabin.
Where roses never fade.
They have different ones they sing.
Yeah.
And I was born in a log cabin. I grew up in log cabins.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived in what they call Poplar Log House on the hill. But I heard a song on here, the recitation that goes with Amazing Grace. I can't remember.
Yeah. You ever seen this one before?
Where are the children? No, I haven't seen that one.
No. I don't think I haven't either. We all get to heaven. Well, it's got a lot of songs that we all know, pretty much.
One time, that made remember me of a little story. I'll tell you.
Uh-huh.
Years ago, I was living in a trailer downtown, and I didn't have just 5 or 6 miles to get to my job.
Yeah.
And the lady I was renting from knew my mom and daddy.
Hmm.
And I visited her house, and she had some songbooks, and she knew that I go to church. We went to church quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
And she had me a songbook. Said, "Do you know any of these songs in this songbook?" I said, "I know some of them." And she pointed to, "I like this, and can you sing it?" I said, "I don't know. I studied it and I tried." And I started singing that song. And she said, "I'd never thought she'd have sung that song.
Yeah.
I think before I heard it." But a lot of times you can just study the song a few minutes,
Yeah.
study the words, and you can sing it. But I'm no great singer. And now I ain't got no teeth.
Oh. I was looking at this song. It's titled different than most of us know it is, I think.
Cross over.
Yeah.
When I shall cross over the dark rolling tide, oh, what a glad meeting there'll be. When close to by those beautiful, pearly white gates, my loved ones are waiting for me.
Yes.
They probably still got some of them words from another song. So
Yeah. Yeah, I've known. I think I know that song is "Waiting for Me" instead of "When I Shall Cross Over."
now, it may be titled "Waiting for Me" in another book.
Yeah.
And I did have a songbook. It gave a title on one part. Then he had another section. He'd give a different title, but with the same song. You may have one of them books.
Yeah.
If you look in the back where he gives the list of songs.
Yeah. I've heard Rob Stanley sing this one before.
Yeah. When I get home.
Yeah.
Have you heard the song, The Redeemer Coming Home?
I don't know that I really have.
I was standing by a narrow gate. See, I was standing by the gate, looking down a narrow lane. See now, let me get it straight. I was standing near a gate, looking down a narrow way.
Yeah.
Loved ones are congregating on that street made of gold.
Yeah.
The redeemed are coming home.
Yeah. We shall meet someday, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. How our hearts ache with grief
Yeah,
as we say goodbye. Yeah.
But that song I asked you about the recitation that made the greatest about this young boy, a young man. He'd started Bible college, and the professor asked him one morning, morning when he went into class, school, to tell him what Amazing Grace was.
Yes.
They gave him the answer the next day. And when he went home, his daddy was at home. He said, "Father, I want to ask you this question and see if you can help me." He said, "Tomorrow, my professor wanted me to tell him what Amazing Grace was. And can you help me?"
Yeah.
And his father said, "I think I can." And his father sang the first verse, Amazing Grace.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't hardly satisfied with that. When his mama come in, he went to his mom. "Tomorrow I have to tell the professor what Amazing Grace is and what it means." He said, "Can you help me?" She said, "I think we can." And she sang the second verse.
Yeah.
And he was satisfied with that. So the next day when he went into class, he had to answer that question. And but before he went, this other word his mama told him, said, "But God's amazing grace, He's helped me to raise you up to a fine young man." And said, "We taught you in the Bible. We taught you about God." And said, "That is Amazing Grace."
Yeah.
And she sang the second verse. So the next day when he goes, and the professor asked him, he stood up and he said, "Yes, I can." He stands up and sang the third verse. And when he sang the third verse, his professor started crying.
Hmm.
And he still shed tears when he sat down. And the professor motioned to the rest of the class. Said, "Now I want to ask you, the rest of the class, what Amazing Grace means to you." They stood up and sung the fourth verse of Amazing Grace. And by that time, all the class and the professor was crying, and his tears were flowing out of their eyes.
Yes.
Lord will, I do it for you.
I see a different. Yeah. I just found a different take. Yeah. Yeah. I just found a different take on a song.
Who wrote?
Yeah. We know it as Two Coats.
Who wrote? That's what it is.
Yeah. But the lyrics are a little different.
Well, I like that old song.
Yeah.
My mama did too.
And here's Two Coats in the same book.
Two coats were before me,
Yeah.
and older than you.
Yeah.
I could have either. So what must I do? The old coat?
Yeah.
The old coat was ugly and terribly torn, but the new one had never been worn.
Yeah.
So I tell you the best thing I ever did do. I laid off the old coat and put on the new.
Yeah. Or to send you the Two Roads version to sing. It's real neat. I mean, take a look at some of it. That's part of that's one verse of it right there, my finger.
Yeah. So friends, take the straight way, and it will lead you through. Use the Bible as your roadmap, and it will guide you through. The way may seem lonely as you travel therein, but salvation will be worth it ends, the end.
Yes.
I'll tell you another song's got a whole lot of meaning to it. That song, uh, that Old Crossroad.
Yes.
And I've got one I sang about the unseen hand. And I like that about when I lay my burdens down.
Yes.
And I like that about the life railway to heaven. There's one where the shades of love lie deep. Now that song is in one of the Baptist hymnals.
Yes.
And I'll tell you another song I haven't heard it in years. They one titled "The Faithful Few."
The
I don't know if
faithful.
you've heard it or not. It's one of them old ballads that people used to write.
I may have it. I don't know.
I used to sing it. I might could think, I might could remember. I start thinking about it.
Yeah.
The number with the faithful few.
Yeah.
And I know one about the farmer and the Lord. And there's one about I like to talk it over with him.
Yes.
I can think I can go on just thinking song after song.
Yes. That one, this book, I don't think I've heard is Bloodstains on the Mountain.
I ain't heard it either.
Hmm.
The blood that stained the old rugged cross.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Blood stained on the mountain. I've never heard that.
Hmm.
I'll tell you another good song. Acorn Sisters sings this. I think they wrote it. Where will I shelter my sheep tonight?
Oh, no, yeah.
Where will I shelter my sheep?
Yeah. I got that one around here.
At God's door.
Yeah. I think that one's on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it is.
Yeah.
There's another song. When I sit beside the road.
Yeah.
This has got the words in it. I believe I heard him walking in the cool of the day as I sat beside the road.
Yeah. I know this one is Great High Mountain.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
Once I stood at the foot of a great high mountain,
Yes.
wanted so much to climb. For on top of this mountain is a fountain,
Yes.
clear in my view. And I want to drink from that fountain
Yes.
that flows in my view.
Yes.
And sometimes when you're listening to music, just going to listen to music, pull up some of them old timers that learned to play back in the mountains when all they had was a banjo, guitar, and violin,
Yes.
and maybe a mandolin. Sometimes they didn't even have the mandolin. They'd have a banjo, guitar, and a violin.
Yes.
They can do some good. They did some good singing, and they know how to play that music. And the way many of them learned,
Yes.
they worked all week hard on the farm trying to make a living. They meet on the weekend if there wasn't no church close by and play and sing, play music and sing.
Yes.
They learned it and listen to some of their testimonies.
Yes.
And you may have seen this, and I'm going to mention a little bit about what it was. I'll soon let you go because it's getting so dry I can't talk.
Okay.
This man from New York, he heard about the mountain music,
Yeah.
and he got in touch with some of them up there in the mountains, and he asked this one particular one that traveled from different places, and he asked him if it'd be all right if he'd come up and make a film and documentary of their music.
Yes.
He said, yes, come on up. We'd be glad to have you. And he went up there, and he took him around where these people were playing music. And they had the camera with them so they could record everything. They went to where this group of men that used to work in a logwood around the sawmill, and the family was so close to inbred. Now you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. We got an inbred family nearby.
And he said if they beat anything he ever heard of playing music.
Yeah.
And there was one there. He had his hat on. I couldn't describe the way he looked. But anyway, he's listening to others play music.
Yes.
And they played a song. And he asked one of the friends he's working, letting around listening to play music. He said, "Can I borrow your violin?" They didn't know he could play a violin. The rest is there.
Wow.
He said to one of them, said, "Can I borrow your violin?" He said, "Yes," just handed it to him and the bow. And he cut down on the song Lost John.
Well,
The song.
I have to look it up sometime, I think.
And one of them spoke up, "Well, you just found Lost John." Said, "Right there he is, and ain't nobody can beat him on a violin." That's how he got his name, Lost John.
Well.
That's where the name Lost John come from.
Oh.
He said, "There's Lost John."
Huh.
I mean, he can play that violin like no use of talking.
Yeah.
And he helped his daddy cut timber. But they never did discuss who the family really was, but they know there's inbred.
Yeah.
And this, I said I was going to go. I keep remembering things. And this one lady, they interviewed her, and she had a child. And because they thought there's so much inbred, they took him away from her.
Oh.
And he went away, he grew up. And he came back, and him and his mama got married. Now listen to this.
Uh-huh.
And when they got married, they got to looking into it and found out he was her son.
Yeah, I think I've heard about that one.
And they put her out to herself. And where she lived out to herself, no one would go about her, see about her, or nothing. And she starved to death in her house because
Yes.
over to get her something to eat.
Yes.
So who would have committed the worst sin?
Yes. Yeah, that's on YouTube. I know exactly what you're talking about there. I'm thinking, I think the interviewer's name was David Holt, if I remember right.
It might have been.
Yeah.
And David Holt, he could play mute about anything.
Well,
And David Holt, he could play about anything.
I have to look into that.
And he told about leaving college.
Hmm.
Music.
Yeah.
His mama got all over him for wanting to leave college and play music.
Yeah.
And he had a pair of coveralls he had made, and inside the legs of different kinds of drums and things he could beat on and play the drums. All he had to do was slap his leg in different places,
Yeah.
get different sound.
Yeah. I just looked that up. That's David Hoffman, not David Holt. David Hoffman was the interviewer. Yeah.
David Hoffman.
Yeah.
Well, I could talk the rest of the night if I
Yeah.
stick together.
Yeah.
Let you go.
All right. I was looking at this, just thinking about this one song. You remember this one? Don't you want to be present to help crown a king?
Yeah.
That's a good one, isn't it? Well, I'll let you go, and good night and God bless. Okay.
Good night. God bless you too.
I'll see you on Messenger. Yeah.
It's a great joy sit down here and talk with you and fellowship with you.
Yes.
These videos, knowing we're doing it for a good cause.
Yes. Hopefully I'll have more Yeah.
Uplift the Lord and give someone else the opportunity to hear the gospel.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll have a more comfortable chair in a few days.
Yeah, I need one better.
Yeah. I ordered one tonight, so today.
Right.
So good night and God bless for now.
Good night.
See you on Messenger.
All right.